What's up, y'all? It's Kimmy Coco. I am your host for Innovative Black Stations, connecting the dots, and we are back. Last week we had a special guest, so we really didn't get a chance to talk like we usually talk about stuff that's going on. Um, First of all, let's congratulate our guest last week, Sharmella Williams, and she won Fulton County Superior Court judge. She led by 14,000 votes. So congratulations to her. We see that really did. People showed out in numbers and record numbers to vote. We also saw the issues in voting. Here in Georgia, it's no secret. There's always something horrible that goes on during the voting process, whether it's voter suppression, the machines don't work, they shut down some of the they shut down some of the locations in rural areas. It's just always a mess. So we need to make sure that the Secretary of State, Brett Roethlisberger, he needs to get everything together. We need to hold him accountable because we're not going to be going through this in November. We're not. I knew and I foresaw this being a problem. They're saying that it's because of COVID. A lot of people didn't come to work at the polls. They're saying it's because the new machines, they weren't properly trained. I don't care. There's no excuse. Stacey Abrams, as we've spoken before on a previous episode about how she started a group that is dedicated to stopping voter suppression and kind of like reporting it and saying where it's bad at. And we saw this all over Georgia. People were waiting in line for hours and hours and hours and hours to vote. Did you guys experience any trouble? Did you vote? Do you vote yet?
I didn't. I actually just got everything switched over Monday.
Okay.
So, I'm official.
Okay.
Georgian, whatever the word is. I did hear about that, and that made me think about our episode with what was his name? Was it George Greenrich? Remember?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
When he was talking about the census.
Uh-huh.
The importance of the census, and I remember on one of our episodes.
The census, right? Professor Greenridge was here, and we were talking about how if they don't know how many people are there, they don't know how many polls to have, how many machines to have, right?
But I'm glad, I can say that I'm glad that it happened right now. So when November comes, it's like, okay, well, we got 6 months to get this problem.
It'll be interesting to see if that's what happens. It'll be interesting to see. They better get it together because come November, I don't want to hear nothing. I personally voted by mail, because I knew there was going to be some shit and I'm scared of COVID and I don't want to be outside. I didn't think I would be ready to be outside then. So I voted by mail. And I suggest, and I posted it, make sure you guys follow us on CTD_ATL, because in the event of emergency, as we've seen recently with COVID, I'll post stuff on our Instagram page, on our Facebook page, Connecting the Dots. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check out some of the old episodes on Innovative Black Stations YouTube channel. And, we just want to keep in touch with everybody because so much has gone on. So, okay, so we talk about the election.
Before we go any
before
further,
we dive in,
like, how are you doing mentally, like, with everything going on?
Oh, I'm fucked up.
Experience, you really being on the front lines, and we seeing this like every day down there, like, and then it's nothing else. It's nothing else for us to pay attention to. Like, we're only paying attention to this.
Oh,
so
yeah.
How are you dealing with this, from COVID to these killings, just to regular life, to work, to just everything?
I'm fucked up. It's a wonder, and it's only by the grace of God that I'm sitting before you all today, because I have gone through severe episodes of anxiety. It's gone from anxiety to like depression to like it's just a roller coaster of emotions over the last few months. I thank God that I made it, because there's been times when, I don't know if this has happened to you guys, but anything that happens to me is a COVID symptom. I'm like, oh my God, like, this all happened right in the middle of allergy season, right? So you're like, oh, you cough, you sneeze, you have some congestion, you're just like, buying all the medicine, and then the store, it's, oh my God. It was rough. It's hard to get used to this new way of life. So let's not get too crazy. Where do you want to start? Do we want to start with COVID, or do we want to start with the election?
Again,
because all of this,
all this. I mean, going forward.
This is life.
Listen, I know people. I've been thinking about this for a long time. I think I'd have said it before, but Trump did everything he said he was gonna do. He built this wall, and even though he ain't try to do it, he about to make America great. I don't know about again, but for the simple fact that you seeing, it's a lot of healing going on. It's a lot of conversations taking place. We coming together, and I see the bigger picture. But I mean, you don't want. I mean, I know you might not want to give him his credit for that, but.
I mean, not deliberately. He's doing this.
Yeah, it's not because he was the genius, the mastermind.
Right. Yeah. No,
but it was just that we had to destroy everything.
There was nothing left to do but to come together. And the thing is with him and the Republicans getting behind him was very surprising to me, because he didn't display any of the characteristics of a traditional, what we would think of as a Republican, right? And then he came in and his whole thing was drain the swamp. We're not going to do this the traditional way anymore. We're going to make people pay their debt to us as Americans. We're not going to get all these people. We're not paying these countries to do this and do that. But was that a good thing? Because now he's pulling out of all those treaties. We need the world. We need to be able to get some information from other parts of the world, right? Because just like with COVID, so let's start from the beginning. We were in February, March, we're minding our own damn business, right? And and this is, we talked about this back in our last real episode that we filmed in the studio with Shar Bates. And she and I were discussing like, you've heard about this thing, COVID, right? And it's like coming here. So allegedly, from what we've been told, it started in Wuhan. They think it was from the wet market. Some say it was from a lab where they were researching coronaviruses. Like we said before, coronaviruses are common. A cold is a coronavirus. The flu is a coronavirus. SARS is a coronavirus. There's different coronaviruses. COVID-19 they call it the novel coronavirus because it's new. It's a different virus. So they're saying it started at a wet market from an animal. That's not too hard to believe, considering the fact that the other ones came from animals too. Remember, like bird flu and, I think SARS, Ebola, I think they all came from interactions with animals, right? So it wasn't too hard to conceive that this could have been how it happened. They're saying that maybe it came from a lab. Somebody let something out and it spread it that way. How it started, we can debate later, right? Because now it started there and spread across Europe and ended up here. Now, New York was the hot spot for us in this country, right? So New York, they had over 300,000 cases of coronavirus alone. New York and New Jersey was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Georgia, it started to become Atlanta. It started in Fulton County and started spreading Cobb, DeKalb. So we're seeing the major metropolitan areas become hotspots all over the country, but New York was really the hub. Now, the governor of New York has gone on record saying that the strain of coronavirus that hit New York was not from China. It was from Europe. So the president tried to get ahead of the game, allegedly, supposedly, and shut the transportation, right? It wasn't soon enough. Now, I mean, it's just like running rampant through the place. So now everybody's going home. Everybody's stay home work, don't go out. Then we had a curfew. Then there was no food. Then there was the lines. Then everybody ran and got damn toilet paper. So then, I don't know if you guys remember this, but they started setting up places where people could self-isolate. So if you live with like your family and you got it and you couldn't self-quarantine or self-isolate at home, they had little trailers set up. Here in Georgia, it was at Hard Labor Creek Park. Have you ever in your life heard of a more scary place? Hard Labor Creek Park. Now, I pass this place all the time when I'm on my way to go visit my family out in Wilkes County. And every time I ride past there, I'm like, well, what the hell goes on there? Yeah, so this is the place where the governor thought that it would be a good idea for people to go. And I only saw one person go there. The first case was a guy that worked at the Waffle House. And he went there. He went there to self-isolate until he got better. He never was hospitalized. And he just, got better. Now, that's another thing. The severity of the case, if you want to get down to the nitty-gritty, just getting tested and you're positive, that's where all these numbers are coming from. You could be positive and never have a symptom. You could be positive and just get a runny nose. You can be positive and be on a fucking breathing machine. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, they'll claim it under COVID. So then all the conspiracy theorists came out like, okay, this is some bullshit. It's not what they're saying it is, because if it's that way, why isn't everybody dying? Like, because it depends on your immune system, right? Now they're saying it depends on your blood type. But you got to be open to understand that it's new, so it's always going to be changing. You know what I mean? Don't think that because it's changing, it's because they lied in the beginning. It's changing because they don't know anything about this thing. So now when something comes out, they're like, oh, we found this out. Oh, we found out that losing your taste and smell is a symptom. That's the most common symptom that I'm seeing from people that get it, because I had a couple of people I know that had it in New Jersey, because that's one of the hot spots. Is it raining? Just out of nowhere. It just started raining hard as hell for no reason. So, yeah. So, right now, worldwide, 7.5 million people have coronavirus. In this country, 2.12 million people have it, and we are up to 117,000 deaths. That is a lot. The majority of the people that have died were in nursing homes or assisted living facilities or in jail or places where it's hard to isolate. So it's going to be interesting to see how this, there's still almost 1,000 people a day dying in this country every day. So fast forward, everyone's at home for months. People aren't getting their hair cut. People aren't getting their hair done. The president, the economy is going to shit. Millions of people lost their jobs. And since this is an election year, he thought it was a great idea to just say, let them out. Let them go to work. Let them do what they need to do, because I don't want these bad numbers on my record as president. So let's get the economy back open. We can't afford to pay all these people on unemployment. Then there was the catastrophe with getting your $1,200. It took me forever to get my $1,200. Struggle with that. People struggle.
The $1,200 came, was gone because the rent you was
right. You were already behind 2 months of rent by the time the $1,200 came, and then trying to get unemployment was a mess. And these are the people that they think have this great conspiracy going on. The people that couldn't even get you $1,200 have this whole big conspiracy going on. I don't think it's that deep. I think it's exactly what we see it is. I think that he lost control. He didn't know what to do, and he scrambled at the last minute. Close this, close that, throw money at them. And now the money's gone, so, oh, well, if you die, you die. And I see people getting lax because it's exhausting. You leave your house, you got to have your mask. Do I wear a mask? Don't I wear a mask? Then it became political because you kept seeing Trump everywhere with no mask on, but he's telling everybody to wear a mask. But he's not wearing a mask. Right. So people are confused. Now the thing is trying to get people to wear masks. Do you guys wear masks? Do you think you should wear a mask in public? Do you guys wear them?
I'll be forgetting sometimes, honestly.
So I'm sitting here talking to you guys, right?
I was gonna say, at first, I just didn't go anywhere, period, because I'm like, if I feel like I need to wear a mask, then I shouldn't even, I shouldn't be in public. At this point in time, I'm like, we definitely, there's certain rules, guidelines that you have to follow and whatnot, so I will wear it where I need to. But at the same time, I'm like, you still have to live your life, we still have to feel
you still have to feel
normalcy,
right, yeah. I wear a mask all the time.
Hard. This is very disheartening, like this period of time right now. I mean,
It's sad, isn't it?
It
The
was-
fact that there aren't thousands of people that have committed suicide by now is
Right.
like, wow.
to think about the domestic violence, the rates
Ah.
going up, all these things, all the child abuse at home, and it's just
Lord help us all. But
Right.
anyway,
many
that's
prayers.
yeah, that's at the end of the day, we should have been trying to get closer to the source, right? Get closer to God, pray, whatever. But you know what we did? We went online looking for DJs to spin online, and guess what? DJ D Nice pulled everybody through. That was great. That was great. He saved me a couple of nights, because let me tell you, I was going through it.
That's, again, back to like our roots, like from the stories you hear, it's always been.
We
like,
always find a way.
we find a way.
That's what we do.
From this versus shit, like we find a way to get through this negative shit, and that's why, like I was even saying before the show, like I agree with you, because if sports start back, if shit just start going back, people TV shows start coming on, like that's gonna be people's release from all this nonsense going on. Like, man, I'm about to just watch the game, so I ain't got to think about none of this going on. And I agree that it might not be the time to start right now, because it's a lot of healing that needs to be taking place.
Well, they're not going to let people go to the games.
Right, I seen through next season, even next season, but still, if it's on TV,
So people are having a problem saying that if you wear a mask, I've heard so many different conspiracy theories, even about just wearing masks. And I'm sitting here talking to y'all, and I just saw a little spit come out. Like, that's how you catch it. But just like how you catch colds and the flu. But see, for so long, our parents have told us, put on your coat, put on your hat, make sure you got socks on so you don't get sick. That's not how you get sick. You get sick from germs, from spreading, from not washing your hands, from touching stuff, from wiping your nose. You touch your face 1,000 times. Spit comes out of your mouth, not deliberately, just in the course of talking. The louder you talk, you're screaming, stuff comes out. So why not cover that up? Cover it up. I'm saving you. You're saving me. We're saving each other. You know what I mean? Wear your damn mask, people.
That's you have to respect others.
Respect everybody's life and put your mask on. Like, are you not wearing condoms? Because I don't think so, the way I'm having to convince people to put your damn mask on. Like, what is going on? So anyway, yeah, guys, be careful with COVID. Put your mask on when you go out, when you're around people, when you're talking. I see people now, it's under your chin, it's under your nose. Like, just put the damn mask on. It's fine. I was at Burger King just now, and the lady, I pulled up, and I went to pay my money, and I gave out the slave patrols back in the days. This is not new. The thing that's new is the attention that's been given. And it's because people are tired. People have been in the house. People have no job. People don't have sports. People don't have any outlet. So now they have an outlet. They're pouring out in the streets for all these people that are being murdered by police, and the police are still murdering. People are tired. People have gone to the street and protested. People have burnt stuff down. People are tired. And now all of a sudden, the NFL, all these corporations, all these people are backpedaling and saying, we were wrong, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. How are we going to make them stick to what they're doing now? How are we going to make this a long-lasting thing? How do we keep this momentum going?
sticking to our plan, like, and just continuing to just understand. We understand that it's a problem. Everybody understanding it's a problem. Everybody knew what the problem was. It's just about executing, and being intentional with what you do. Intentionally shop at black spots. Intentionally uplift other black people. Intentionally try to be better. Like, that's you got to be intentional right now. You can't just be lollygagging or just be thinking somebody else gonna do it. You got to do it with you. It start with you. You got to start by setting the example. And everybody just got to set the example. And if everybody's setting the example, starting with themselves, then it's gonna be a shift. And I feel like it's so much. We seeing this shit so much, like people. If you got any type of feelings in your body, like seeing all this gonna make you want to change. It's gonna make you want to nah, this ain't right. Black, white, whatever, Asian, whatever. This is just wrong. Like it ain't even about race. This is right.
It's just wrong. It's just wrong.
Like,
so at the core of this whole thing is the notion, and we've talked about this on a couple episodes too, of white supremacy and the whole structure and how they try to maintain it. And one of them is policing and being extra tough. And the person that's in the White House right now kind of like eggs them on. Be tough on them. Don't be easy on them. You know,